Hamilton Beach single serve coffee maker. And this is really a compact, really cool machine, you guys. I love this because, as you can see over there, my Breville, which makes my espresso, is back there. So I'm going to show you about that as well. I'm going to get through this kind of quickly, and then I'll do a detailed video later on both of them. But I'm just going to give you like quick synopsis of how they work. This is the, like I said, the Hamilton Beach. I'll turn it a little bit. I just set it here. I usually have it back there on the counter, but so we can get good footage of it. But it comes with a scooper. This is called the scoop. I think it's the Hamilton Beach scoop machine or something like that it's called, because it's all about everything you do is with the scoop here. But this one's separate. I bought a separate one to just make sure I had a backup plan. So anyway, so you could just dip your coffee and things and put in this. This has a this is a basket and things like that where the coffee goes. You fill your coffee in here. It goes through this mechanism. Wait a minute, let me rinse this one because I made a cup of coffee earlier. And that's how it is. How easy it is to do is I simply rinse the little basket out. They're stacked. Here's like a net. It has the, what is it called? Like not netting, you know,
like a mesh.
It's a mesh here, but like a filter. Okay. This is a filter. This one has the holes in it to go through that one, and then you have a bottom one here where the coffee goes through. So they're stacked in three. So that's one, and you can see how they fit. This one, and then you put your coffee in here. Now I could use this, like I said before, to just simply scoop and put coffee in it, but I tend to use a separate scooper just in case this is damp. I look for me rinsing it all the time. And in here is where you put the filtered water or whatever. I usually use a filter type of a water just because I do that with most of my coffee machines and espresso machine. I know I'm bouncing back and forth. It doesn't matter that much, but so I put that in here, and the amount of water that this one holds is 8 up until, I think it gets up to like a 12 ounce. Mm-hmm. I think a 12 ounce cup, which is usually in your travel size. So I go ahead and fill that, and when you run this machine, it runs the amount of water that you put in it. However much you put in there is what it's going to run. It's going to run it completely out. So you always fill the amount of water you need in the back when you get ready to get a cup of coffee, which is good. So you don't have just leftover. You don't overfill a cup.
You don't have leftover coffee.
You don't have that too. And I'm going to use this coffee in just a second. And I'll show you this really quickly. This comes with a stand, or like this goes here. Initially when you see it, you're going to see it like that. And this is when you need a taller cup, of course, typically a travel size or something like that, or just a taller cup. Some of my coffee cups are taller than this, like an 8 ounce. And so you take it off and you simply flip it over, and it just rests it on it has little holes there. It's like it rests there. So I do that for shorter cups, of course, so it doesn't just drip all the way down. Now I'm moving kind of quickly because I want to get to show you the Breville. I have it on, so it's heating up, which you should do when you get if you get a Breville or any type of a espresso machine. I would think you should heat them up so your portafilter and things like that can start getting warm when you get ready to make an espresso or shot or something. It's a good idea to start heating your machine up, unless it automatically comes on. Let me get a paper towel and put. I just hate making coffee messes. Coffee is so messy. And it shows up on. I love a white counter, but of course
it's
shows,
brown. So it
shows up, and it gets in the little crevices of my where my grout and things is. It gets in there. Sometimes I have to scrub it out, but it is what it is. I like the towel though. I like towel counters.
Me too.
They're old and everything. I just like it. It has character. Ask me.
Yeah.
So put some coffee in here. See, I filled that with the coffee. Like I said, you can scoop it, and that's way quicker than what I'm doing. And the brand of coffee I'm using, Lexi picked out, is this one, Don Francisco's. It's pretty good. I have a vanilla nut and I have a few others.
Yep, I got you a couple of flavors.
Yeah, this is really good. So this is the one I'm using. You use any ground coffee, of course, of your choice. So get this, and I place this in here like that. It's that simple. Close it up. I always make sure I have enough water in there before I start, or make sure I remember to put water in it. It's plugged up already. If you notice, I didn't turn anything on yet. I just plugged it up and I put my water and the coffee in there. I didn't do anything else. If you're wondering where's the power button, I do that after I'm ready to actually start the coffee. That's when you push one of your buttons. Now it has a bold and a regular button here on the side. This is the power button. It's going to start the coffee going. So don't press anything. Don't look for anything to press until you're ready to pour your coffee. That's when you press this. So I can do regular or bold. Bold supposedly runs a tiny bit slower than the regular, but it's not that big of a deal to me. But I'm going to do regular, and that's the top button here. That's when you'll notice it powers on. So you don't power it on typically until you're ready to actually start the flow of coffee. And so it's heating up. If I get it plugged up, yeah, it's heating up, and I don't think it takes that long. Some people think.
I don't think so either.
It's really pretty quickly. It goes pretty quickly for me. Hi, Christopher. A little bouncing around. There's a Christopher here. So it's starting. I'm gonna let that start and just show you how easy, how simple it is to get a quick cup of coffee. If you guys see the little hands bouncing around, don't panic. It's a 3-year-old, being a 3-year-old, and his brother's a little bit upset. His mommy's gonna go in there with that. So the coffee is starting. So this is pretty quick. It's like, because like I said, I don't have to worry about doing a whole lot to get just a simple cup of coffee. So that's why I like this basic, simple machine. It makes life so much easier. And it actually, like I said, you can actually look in there if you want while it's going. It doesn't do anything to it. But you can see it's running through the basket, through a filter, and out through the bottom, and that's so simple. It had the drip tray. Is pretty small, but it's not that big of a deal. Now it does splash around a little bit when it's dripping the coffee in there. I just go behind and just wipe everything down. That's just what.
And it keeps your machine clean.
Yeah, I wipe my machine down as soon as I'm done using it. All the time, I just wipe it down because you can't stop coffee from doing your little splat here and there. But can be OCD with this kind of stuff. This stuff is never stop working, running, whatever. But so that's that for the coffee. Quick and simple. So we're done with that, and I'll just try and let this just sit here. But I'll show you really quickly when I'm trying to give it a few more seconds to stop dripping. And even if it drips a little bit, it's okay. Sometimes I'll just move my cup if I want to go ahead and start. Like sometimes I put a little bit more water than I want, and I have a shorter cup. I just switch out cups really quickly, and that's what I do. I'm like, oh, I forgot, and I put it a little bit more than I want. So that's that. And what I typically do is I grab a spare cup, so I don't fill up my tray while I'm not paying any attention. It's just me. That's just how I do it. I just move that out of the way, and sometimes I just put a cup here. So if anything spills, any mess I make, whatever, to go into a cup.
It saves cleanup.
Yeah, I just do it just because it's me. And here is the coffee that how it was done like that. And you dump this out. You dump your grounds. Let me show you. See?
There we go.
It's in the basket. Neat. And you just dump this, dispose of this, and I rinse everything out as soon as I'm done. That's it. I dump the grounds and I rinse it, And that's it for that. And it automatically will power itself off. I don't know if it's off already. Yeah, it powers itself off. So you power it on only when you're ready to actually get your cup of coffee, and then it will power itself off. So there's the coffee. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put me some creamer or something in it while I'm sitting here. Hayden, you want a cup of coffee? Let me get the stir stick. Okay, let me get a stir stick. Because I'm not wasting this coffee. You guys see the price of everything in those stores? Oh, Lord. I heard Cardi B talking about the price of things in the stores. When someone in her status talks about the price of groceries, you know it's an issue.
Exactly.
She was cracking me up because she was talking about the price of lettuce. That was so funny. She was like, you see how hot this is? So, anyway, let me get ready to show you really quickly about the Breville. I can move this because I like to wipe, like I said, everything down really quickly. I'll rinse everything later, but I'll just leave that sitting. I'm going to bounce over here to I'll just leave this stuff over here. I don't know if I need to move the machine for you to get over to the Breville.
Well, I'm just gonna slide on over there with you.
Okay, I'm gonna be drinking this, you guys. I'm not wasting this coffee. Thank you. Thank you, Lord, for coffee. Okay, so as you can see with this setup, I have a plastic cup, just a container. This is just stuff I do. So I put a container or something under there because I'm going to just rinse the machine. And I just prefer not to keep filling up my tray because the tray sort of fills up on its own. So this is the cup I use. I just use this because of the way it's shaped for my water.
It's easy to pour.
Yeah, and it's full. The water tank is back here and it is full. So you can put water, add it back there. And I can actually use this and pour it back here even though it's under this setup under my cabinets. So, and I can get in and out of my hopper from up here without having to pull it out too much. I pull things out a little bit from the wall, you guys, because I just don't like my cords to think they're heating up or things. I'm paranoid of
getting like crushed.
Getting crushed or whatever. And I'm so paranoid of fires. Lord, I've been burned up before. Hold on, let me get started on that. I do not play electrical fires. Okay, and I got my beans and things over here. I got one there. I got another one here. They're just on the other side of the machine. And, okay, now, I'll tell you really quickly, the first thing I typically do when I start my machine, I turn on the power button, and I start it, and I start a rest. You're going to hear this running. I start a rest that heats up my portafilter, and it sort of rinses out any debris left from my last shot. So, that's why I do that. Okay, so that's there, and I usually check and see if it's clear, making sure I have nothing left in there from the last time I poured a shot. Now, when you get your portafilter, this is what it comes with. A few things. It comes with your tools. I'll show you guys all of that stuff later. I'm just going to go through doing a shot this time, and I have my settings on whatever this size is. I don't know exactly what this number is, but its factory setting was straight across. I went down one. I moved it down one notch. So if you have to adjust your machine for anything with all the areas that you can adjust, I would advise you, like people say, do one thing at a time. So when I wanted to, I think I wanted my shot was coming so fast. I wanted to slow it down a little bit or something. It was something, I can't remember why I set it. But I did that, and then I programmed it to give me the exact 20 ounce each time I get a shot. I programmed it to do that. But I have for all the things, everything else, I think I left it on the setting that the factory, that it came when I bought it. Well, Lexi gave it to me for a Christmas gift. I invited it. So, trying to get credit. That's what people do. Try to take credit. So, this is on a 5. on my grind size is 5. This, like I said, was whatever the number is straight across. There are no numbers. I would just have to count them. It was like directly in the middle of less and more of the grind amount. So like I said, I turned it down 1 to make go towards more. Then everything else is just there. It's set. And this comes with it because a lot of people complain about the portafilter when you get your, what is it, the ground coffee, when it grounds up the coffee, or grinds up the coffee, the coffee beans, it spills over. Mine didn't. Even without this little device, it's like a little bracket to, when you do what I just did, you're going to have a little bit of water left over in your portafilter. I just dump it. I don't usually take the basket all out. I could go through all of that. I just don't, because I'm getting ready to run the coffee through it anyway. The beans through it. I hate to keep calling it coffee because it's espresso. To run the espresso through it. So this is hot. And this gets warm, so that's why I keep a cup up here all the time, because this heats up. Or you can use your little shot glasses and things like that. I have one here, because sometimes I transfer something from that to my cup. But I just wanted to, so if you guys want to see, I'm going to try to show what it looks like going through here. No, I'll do that later. I'm just going to run it in my regular cup. And of course, here's the tamper. I have another, I have my own, have a larger one, but that comes with it. Of course, you guys know all this stuff comes with it. So anyway, the first thing I usually do is I go ahead and attach my device on there. This, like I said, this comes with it. And I get myself ready to just have some coffee sitting here before I do my milk. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to put this, set this right here. If you do nothing, don't push on it. As we know, it won't start doing anything. So I'm making sure this is what I want to do now. So starting that while I drink this. Woo. It's good. And sometimes I see how much in there and I stop it on my own. I just press the filter size, and sometimes I'll just stop it. I'm going to try to set it more and try to get the same amount all the time. No, it can be tricky. And you guys, when you get a machine like this, for the people that don't know, like people think about getting an espresso machine, don't get intimidated by it. Play around with your machine. Do what works for you. There is no perfect setting for any one person, in my opinion, because it's based on your taste. So you play around with things that you need to, all the areas that you can adjust your machine. I would suggest, if you need any adjustment, do one thing at a time and try a shot. One thing, because it can make a world of difference. And then as perfect as I had everything set up initially, my shots were coming out really good, tasting really good to me. I changed beans today. That could change everything. So that's why I say there are no perfect anything until each time you change beans, you got to find a perfect taste for yourself, for you. So don't get intimidated by these machines. These machines are so nice. And I'm just shifting my coffee grinds around in here because I'm going to get ready to tamp this and leave it waiting on my coffee. The milk. So I just got that sitting here like that. I'm getting ready to tamp it. So I usually go ahead. That's not true. I always put paper towels down. What do I do with my paper towel? Let me get another one because I'm going to have some spill. The browns are going to fall out. So I do that. Then I go ahead and remove this. You can use all the different devices, the razor blade, all of that stuff to make your tamp batter. I don't. I like things simple, quick, to the point. So I just kind of shift my stuff a little bit sometimes. Just what I do. I just do a lot of things by sight, but I just can tell what works for me. So when I get ready to tamp it, I just go ahead and I go spin it. I turn a little bit on it, put a little bit of pressure on it. I turn it, I knock away the little parts that, they little stuff that's around like residue, left over. And then I look at it, if I see like tiny little pieces on that, just go one more time, typically. Even if it's not 100% perfect, but it's in there. So now leave this let's kind of sit this to the side because I'm going to warm up my steamer. And I get that out of the way because I don't want that wet yet. So I kind of just leave this be. Ooh, let me take it. Okay, so I'm going to warm up my steamer. I usually put something there just to be safe. No, I don't want to get burned by anything. Well, then I get my bath water. So,
It's so hot.
so I'm gonna let that heat up for a second. And that's another thing with the Breville Express, which is more of a basic of the Brevilles. It takes a minute to heat up your steam wand. I don't mind. I don't mind waiting at all. When it stops running water in it, it's running a little bit of water in it. I just shut it off and then I get ready for my milk. Make sure I got it on off when it starts doing something else. Because this is where your hot water will come through here, this part, and I don't want it running out. So I kind of get that ready and I have a tiny bit of water in there. Now I'm going to get some milk. Lexi's getting some milk for me. And I've said in other videos before with showing you guys how I make different espressos, cappuccinos, I use whole milk for most anything. I love whole milk. I drink it by itself, but I use it to make my thing. Oh, he's asleep. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I've done that. I'm gonna go ahead, since I just did that and I have a wet cloth ready, so when I can wipe this off and I'm done, I go ahead and start. I turn my steam back on and I get ready to froth my milk. And you really don't want much of the tip of the wand of this wand. You want no more than the tip of the wand in your milk if possible. And I filled it right at, let me get it, wait, let me get that fill. It's like a soft spot. And it's just it's heating up. Usually I get it more quiet. I'm just kind of rushing. Yeah, it should be about like that. That sound is like the sound should get lesser when you're doing it well. And the milk is getting really hot. So I go ahead and shut it off. And like that. Turn it back on. Push out any milk or anything, residue left in it. This is heated up. A lot of people leave their portafilter in here when they're doing their thing. I just usually move it. I just move it out of the way. You can leave it in there and it keeps it heated. That's a good thing to do too. I just remove mine and leave it just sitting to the side because I've already heated up the portafilter. But that's just me. And I usually go for a double. So I'm gonna do a double shot. And this is supposed to tell you how well your range of how well you tapped and everything. It could be whatever. Like I said, these are new beans. I have no idea what to expect.
We're about to find out.
It's coming out pretty fast, but it is what it is. Like I said, this is a new beans for me, so it is what it is. I'm just getting through how to do the machine. I'm not worried about how perfect the shot is right now. I just want to show you how it works. So I go ahead and do that, and I usually go ahead and remove my portafilter, and I usually put it on a saucer or something. I just don't like it sitting up in here getting more water running through it. So I move mine. It's pretty dry, so that's pretty good. And there's my, oh no, you can see it. There's
Right
my,
there. Yeah.
there's my shot. So my milk isn't real, I didn't get a lot of froth. I mean, I didn't get a lot of,
Like the foam.
the
on
foam.
top.
I didn't get any foam worth anything. So, because I was kind of rushing it. But I'm going to taste it. I'll use this one. I usually add something to mine, like my, what is it, the raspberry and things like that.
You have your different syrups.
Oh, it's pretty good. It's a different taste. I don't know what type of coffee that is. It's pretty good. So anyway, but this is the basics of how I make a cappuccino. Like I said, even though I don't have any foam, I didn't do my foam. I rushed so much through my milk. Next time I'll show you guys a really pretty one, but I just wanted to get through how
And we'll
to
show you the
run it.
machine in more detail.
Yeah,
and
we're gonna,
stuff.
exactly. I just wanted to get through it and let you know, like I'm doing. I just keep experimenting. I don't mind whatever I do. I don't mind whatever happens with that because it's for me. I have to adjust things for my taste, and that's just what I do. I'm not selling the coffee. So.
Exactly.
So anyway, so that's my Breville Express, and then I showed you about my espresso, and this is what I've been doing a lot, and really being into my plants. So I'm going to, let me get this back. Don't waste it. But I know everything's pricey. Oh, anyway, so that's what I've been doing, and I just wanted to give you guys an update and on some other things later. But for right now, this is it, and I'll come back, like I said, do a video on doing more detail,
Breville,
walking
yeah.
you through it, the best I could do it, and so then I'll know more about the particular bean I'm using. So the beans, rather bean, like I'm using one. Anyway, that's it for right now. Glad to see you guys again, if I could actually see you, but good talking to you. I've just been running around busy and everything like that, and dealing with stuff. You people been coming for me, you guys. I've been just fighting people off. I'll tell you about that too. Oh, just been stuff. Anyway,
You've been busy for sure.
I've been busy for real. Anyway, good talking to you guys again. I miss you. Love everybody. Keep taking care of yourselves. And I'll be back on here hopefully
soon, because we'll show the Breville. You'll
I'll try
get
to-
another chance to play around with those beans. And then we can show in more detail your settings and stuff like
Correct.
that.
Yeah, because I want to help people that maybe a little bit intimidated by these machines, because they're decent price, and this was a really good price with Lexi.
That one was a nice deal.
It was a
It
really
was
good
for
deal.
I caught Cyber Monday.
Correct. And we just happened to be in the store.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, I'll let it
We're-
go.
I know.
Yeah, like we're not filming anything. Okay. Love you guys. Take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you soon.
And remember to like,
Remember
comment,
to that stuff.
subscribe,
Like,
and turn on
comment.
notifications.
I know you guys got. I want to know who have their notifications on. Somebody lets me know.
I turned mine on.
Because I feel bad for you guys if you have it on. I'm terrible. I want to know who has it on. Let me know who has it on, and I'm gonna do a giveaway, something, help hook somebody up, or even having a thing on. Because I'm terrible. So and with coming on here, I get so distracted. My life has been crazy. Anyway, love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Deuces. Bye-bye.